Lucy Rothschild pulled her BMW into the parking slot closest to the Starbucks entrance and shoved the vehicle into park. Rain pounded the hood of her car and bounced off the asphalt as she turned off the Beamer. Her gaze slid to the front of the strip mall and sought the green and white Starbucks sign next to the golden glare of Blockbuster Video. Light from within the coffee shop poured out onto the wet sidewalk, while the raindrops slipping down Lucy's window smeared vivid color and inky shadows like an abstract painting. Next thing you know, some guy is wearing your head for a hat. Lucy turned off the car and shoved her keys in the pocket of her navy blue Ralph Lauren blazer. She hated when Maddie said things like that, when she made everyone else as paranoid and freaky as she was. Maddie interviewed psychopaths for a living, but that didn't mean all men were child molesters, rapists, or serial killers. Lucy wrote about murder too, but she wrote fiction and was able to separate what she wrote from real life. Maddie seemed to have trouble with that. Lucy grabbed her umbrella from the passenger seat and opened her car door. It wasn't as if she was going to set up a second meeting with hardluvnman, or was even going to leave Starbucks with him. It wasn't even as if she was taking this coffee date any more seriously than she'd taken the others she'd had during the past few months. She hit the button on her umbrella with her thumb, and the red canopy opened as she stepped from the car. Like the other dates, tonight was about work. She had her small notepad and pen in her pocket, right next to her little can of mace. She'd brought the pen and paper in case she needed to write down interesting tidbits about hardluvnman after he left. She'd brought the mace in case he wanted to wear her head for a hat. Damn that Maddie. Lucy paused briefly to shut the door behind her, then moved across the parking lot, dodging puddles on her way. Unless hardluvnman was different, she wouldn't even use the pen and paper. Unless he was different from the others, while they waited in line for coffee, he'd give her the slow up and down, as if she were an Airedale at the Westminster Kennel Club dog show. If she passed inspection, he'd pay for her triple grande skinny latte. Hold the whip, please. Ask her what she did for a living, although she'd clearly lied on her bio, stating she was a nurse. Then proceed to talk about himself, what a great guy he was, and his former wife/girlfriend, and what a dumb biatch she was. If Lucy didn't pass the slow up and down, she'd pay for her own coffee, which had only happened to her once. Big Daddy 182 had been a real cheap bastard with a silver tooth and a neck hair ponytail. He'd taken one look at her and said, "You're skinny," as if that had been a bigger abomination than his beer belly. She'd bought her own coffee, then proceeded to listen to him talk about himself for the next hour. While he'd rambled on about his run to Sturgis and his bitch of an ex-wife, Lucy had thought about different ways to kill him off. Bad, heinous ways. In the end, she'd known she'd have to stick to her female serial killer's M.O., but erotic asphyxiation had seemed too good a way for him to die. 2 steps from the sidewalk, Lucy planted her foot in a puddle. She'd almost made it. Cold water rushed over the toe of her black ankle boot and splashed the bottom of her black jeans.